Justin does like to play, and he's also got, you didn't tell us about your kid, your 3-year-old husky dog. You probably will tell us, right? Sails, bikes, climbs, and skis as often as his pack schedule allowed, and you just went up to Stevens 2 nights ago?
Yes, I think so.
For a night snowboarding, was it, or?
Actually, I made it in the morning, but it felt like afternoon because I woke up early to work. So.
I see, yes. So you work around your play.
Absolutely.
That's how it works.
It's a long lunch break from
Yes.
9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Justin and his dad started Ignite Local, which is an internet marketing agency 3 years ago. So good to be connected to you and hang out with somebody that's 28. Yes. Come and share with us.
So yeah, just a little bit about what I'm going to talk about is just a little business marketing 101, 30 minutes of, the basics. I'm not going to bore you to death or go into detail too much. But after I go over it, if you have any questions, I'm happy to give you whatever little bit I know about this ever-changing industry. And I may, if we're all lucky, throw in some thoughts about philosophy, life, and technology. I find it very interesting that we're extremely dependent on something that was just non-existent 40 years ago. And just to contrast life now with life 100 years ago, which probably not a lot of people my age really think about, it's just astounding to me. Oh, this website isn't loading in 5 seconds. I don't have instant access to the world's wealth of information. It's like, okay, well, you used to have to, get on the horse and go 20 miles to town to maybe find a library that had a few books in it. So we've come a long way. Who am I? Who am I? This is a little word map, some words that I put down to describe myself. I think, we're all students and teachers in some way. So even though I've long since graduated, this industry is always changing all the time, so I always have to be learning. And my professional certifications are yearly, but we're always learning. And that's what's another cool thing about the internet, is you can learn pretty much anything you want. So this is me and my wife. She's in the background there, and we like to sail and do other adventurous things and travel. So this is our little boat. It was our home for a while, which is pretty fun. And this is our kid, Amarok. So we adopted him a year ago, and this was climbing up a mountain, Mount Baring on Highway 2, and this is snowboarding down Cowboy Mountain right at Stevens Pass. In the off season, we hiked up there and took the dogs, made a fun little video, and so they say sitting is the new smoking, that if you sit, you're just slowly killing yourself. And I sit a lot for work, so I got the dog to help me get out more, because I used to adventure more than I do now. With the business, I am a little bit tied to my desk. But yeah, so this is my business, Ignite Local. We're 4 years old, and my dad and I started this business together. We were both in the industry for several years beforehand. I was mainly doing content writing, blogging, and video marketing. So we started this business, and he needed a webmaster. I barely knew what a webmaster did, but I learned how to do it, mainly by Googling it. And I went to school for communication and got a degree in print journalism. So yeah, print journalism. Great future in that industry. I think it was while I was graduating that we got news that the Post-Intelligencer was, not printing anymore. So yeah, I never put the word print on my resume when I tell them about my degree. But yeah, so a little bit about us. We're a little bit different in that we're not like solely out to make money. Sometimes I kind of wish that was our primary goal in business. But my dad has got a lot more business experience than I do. His whole goal is to provide value to clients. And the more I read about business and how to do well, you got to provide a value, because if you're not providing value, then there's no reason for people to do business with you and tell other people to do business with you. So our number one goal, we want to make money with our clients, not off of our clients. We follow the golden rule, and we care about our clients. And that really sets us apart because most people in my industry just don't care that much. And so why should you care about your website? Here's some fun statistics. I took this quote from espresso.digital. Not having a business website gives the impression that you are no longer in business. Kind of seems silly, but it's true. Another thing that a lot of people don't think about is some people will subconsciously equate your website quality with the quality of work that your business provides. You could be a contractor and do the most amazing high quality luxury remodels, and if your website looks bad, people are just going to assume that you do bad work, and you might be the best out there. So it's good to have a website that represents you well. Just a couple statistics here. 97% of internet users search for local businesses online. I don't know what the other 3% are doing. Probably just watching Netflix. 90% of mobile searches lead to action. Over half of them lead to purchases. So you want to be able to be found on a mobile phone. 70% of online searches on a computer lead to action within 1 month. And 68% of mobile searches lead to action within 1 day, oftentimes actually going to a physical location. And about half of them make a purchase that day. So last time you needed an auto repair or a new kitchen, who went to the Yellow Book? Maybe, 20 years ago I did. But yeah, so this is how people look for goods and services and oftentimes do business, so it's where we need to be found. If you're not on Google, you're virtually invisible. You can Google just about anything, even the meaning of life. You might not get the right answer, but you'll get some answer. So what to do about it? I guess it kind of goes with what you were talking about that news story you wrote, how the rise of anxiety. It's like we're so used to instant information. If I want to find out anything, I can just ask my phone, "Hey, Google, what's the capital of Algeria?" And it'll say right then. So it's just kind of weird. Anyway, 2 ways to test. If you're looking at your website, I want you to think mobile first. Google recently has changed their algorithm for how they compute how to rank you on their search engine to judging your mobile website first before looking at your website on a desktop. So site speed and also how it looks. So the 2 ways to test are: 1, pull up your site on a smartphone and see how it looks. Can you read it? Can you find information you need? Can you easily contact, make a call, get directions, all that stuff? Also, there's lots of tools online to check your website. Google's tool, I included the link there, testmysite.withgoogle.com. You type in your domain name and it'll say good, excellent, poor, fair, give you an easy grade, as well as some things to do and reasons why they gave you that grade. I guess I could have put up a couple examples of a good mobile presence and a bad mobile presence, but most of you have probably seen a website where you pull it up on your phone and just like, everything's so small, I can't see anything.
Justin?
Yes.
I have a question on that.
Yes, Pat.
So if you're pulling it up on your phone, this is an old person question, I'm sure, but do you have to have an app for it to come up readable? Or is it possible for your website to be readable on a phone if you don't have an app?
So yeah, it's a good question. Pretty much every phone will have a browser app, an internet browser, just like you have on your computer. And you want your phone to appear well on that. You want your website to appear well on that. You can have a separate app for your business, where people can make interactions and do things with your business through the app exclusively. They don't need to go to the internet really at all, or to a web browser anyway. But for most small businesses, an app just doesn't make sense. And so it's good to have a mobile friendly website. And I guess a quick tangent, there used to be separate mobile websites. So you would see m.yourwebsite.com, a completely different version of the website rendered for mobile. Now they say mobile responsive is what you want, and that is it responds to the width of the browser. So if you're on your computer, you can kind of click and drag the browser, make it shrink or make it wider, and you can, if your website is responsive, it will reorganize all of the content as you drag to different screen widths. So if it's on a tablet, looks different this way than this way. You know, your phone, same thing.
Yeah, because you do see some that you just can't, really, that you can't read them at all, and then
Right.
others, you don't have an app, but you can read it still, so that's why.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, so can't you pay something to Google so you pop up on various searches?
Yes, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. And I'll cover that in a couple slides too. So, so how do you improve your website? Well, if you don't have a website, build one. That's the first improvement. Otherwise, check out your website, and if you need to improve, if it does not look good on a mobile phone, or if it does not rank well, you should probably spend a little time improving it. And when you're looking at your website, think about what action do you want the customer, the prospective customer to take. Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to fill out a form? Do you want them to just make a purchase and not call you? I have different clients asking me different things, like, hey, I want my phone to ring. Hey, I don't want my phone to ring. I just want them to make a purchase and not call me. So we have different goals for different clients. And there's kind of 3 steps. One, you got to get found by people who are searching for what you offer. There are people typing into Google what you do, so you need to be found when they do that. Craft content that causes customers to choose you over competitors. I put competitors there to continue alliteration for you alliteration fans out there. And 3, make it easy for them to take action. Make it easy for them to find the call button, the directions button, whatever it is, make a purchase. Want to make it easy for them, and that kind of tags onto this whole instant gratification culture that we're cultivating here. They're not going to look for more than a minute for a phone number. It's just, the statistics are staggering too. If your website loads within 6 seconds or within 3 seconds, you'll have twice as many people waiting to see your website if it loads in 3 seconds rather than 6. I mean, I remember when the sounds of dial-up, that was fun. If a website had a picture on it, you'd have to wait like 5 minutes. So how do you rank? Check and improve your rankings online. There's a few things you can do. Just do a couple searches on Google. Now, something to think about if you have a niche industry or a niche market. You want to search terms that your customer would be thinking and searching, not terms that are industry terms for your business. So I might say, paid media marketing or something like that, because it's an industry term. But a small business owner might not be thinking that. They might just, how do I get more customers? Or business advertising. So try to think of the term that your customers is going to be searching. And there are many rank trackers or rank checking tools where you can just go to Google and type in rank tracker or rank checker. Mike's Marketing Tools has a good one. You just type in your domain name, your website address, as well as a few search terms you think people might be searching. And it'll give you a number, 1 through 100. And 1 through 10 means you're on the first page, one of those listings, 1 through 10, up to the 10th page of Google. And if you're not on the 10th page of Google, then you're pretty much invisible. Really, if you're not on the first page. I think 80% of searchers click on the first page, so not very many go to the second page. And about 95% don't go past page 2. So you want to be in those first 20 listings on the first 2 pages. What to do? How to improve SEO? As you can see from this simple diagram, SEO is kind of complex. The truth is, I don't think anybody knows how it works. I don't even think Google really knows how it works. They put out a new algorithm, and in fact, I just read a most recent article is something called machine learning is the new thing. Mobile was the last 10 years. Now we're going into machine learning. It's basically artificial intelligence They train a computer how to learn and grow and make decisions. And they're now applying machine learning to Google's algorithm that calculates rankings. So instead, they would have these smart people say, I think maybe if we do this and change this, we'll get our searchers better results. And now they have a robot doing all of that instantaneously all the time with experiments and data. So it's pretty amazing. Machine learning is on the rise. You know, we've probably all seen it. If you're on YouTube, oh, you liked this video, check out this one. Or the songs, making recommendations for purchases. Those are all machine learning type things.
I had to laugh at myself. A couple days ago, I got a robocall, but I didn't realize it was a robocall. So I asked a couple questions. Wasn't getting very good answers.
Right.
Thought, what's going on here? And then I hung up.
You know, I love those things because, you know, they're programmed to actually kind of almost have a personality.
Yeah.
And I talked to one, and he kind of laughed. He chuckled, right? And I was like, that seems a little weird because he got me going for a while too.
Yeah.
So then
I feel better now.
Well, then I laughed, and it triggered him to laugh, completely uncontextually, and it was the exact same laugh.
Yeah.
So then I just messed with it, and I was ha ha ha, you know, over and over again. It was hilarious. Yeah.
Kassi walk in the room and ask what was going on then? Or?
Yeah, something really funny was going on. Yeah, I entertain myself pretty easily. That's what happens when you work alone in front of a computer all day. So I'm going to just real briefly go through the rest of this because it's just technical and boring.
Philosophical.
Yes, philosophical.
Yeah.
So you can in-house or hire outside help for SEO. SEO is kind of a tough one because some people will charge you $2 to $3 grand a month for SEO, and you're just not going to get that return on investment if you are a small or medium-sized company. So don't spend that much money on it. Not worth it, in my opinion. So there's on-site and off-site SEO. I'll briefly touch on that. On-site is making sure the keywords are on your site in all the right places. So whatever keyword you want to be found for, you want to focus on, you got to sprinkle that into your content in all the right places. It's not just the words, it's also the meta title and meta description, so all the code that describes what it's about to Google. Off-site is generally, we're talking about things that link to your site. When Google was first created, people would say, oh, the internet's great, but you can't find anything out there. It's impossible to find stuff on the internet. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. So Google, their first idea was, okay, well, if people are linking to a website, then that website must be credible. Let's rank them higher because people are linking to them. And that's really still the basis for a lot of SEO, is how many people are linking to you, saying this is a worthy content. So it's good to get those backlinks. That's off-site SEO. So know what keywords to target, do some research. They have a keyword planner tool. You can go in and look for keywords people might be searching for. There's lots of tools, but knowing your keywords is really important. What are you targeting? Backlinks, those are links to your website. Yes, Amanda.
Link to you, like,
Yeah.
there's a button on another side that it has your URL.
Mhm.
You mean by that?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it could be a button, or it can just be like some text that is, the blue underlined text that takes you to another website.
Okay. So you can kind of fake it, create a whole bunch of websites and link to the main
You
one?
can. That brings me to what's called white hat and black hat SEO. So,
Thinking.
yeah, well, it's good. I mean, a lot of people do really well by, oh, these are the rules. I'm going to kind of bend them a little bit. So yeah, we say white hat SEO is playing by the Google's rules. Black hat SEO is sort of exploiting the rules, finding the loopholes. And we generally try to keep our white hat on because we don't want to get in trouble with Google. But yeah, there's so many things you can do like that. What I recommend, though, is just make sure that you're on all the major directories, like Yelp, or there's so many online directories. There's literally hundreds of them. But Yelp, if you're in construction, house, and other, industry-specific ones, whatever industry you're in, there's probably a directory that's just for your niche. So get on those because they will have a link to your website, and that's a high-quality backlink. Also, social media. Make sure you have a Google My Business page or a Facebook account, maybe a LinkedIn page. any social media accounts that are specific to what you do. Those are all good links to your website. Again, you can use a rank tracker to check your progress, see if you're rising up in the ranks or down. But lastly, don't spend too much on this, because some people will want to spend all your money on it, and you probably won't get a positive return.
Question.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff.
It seems like improve your SEO is like it's like the cat's meow of what I would hire somebody to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
They're like, you guys just improve your SEO, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so let's say that all of us here, 20 of us, 15 of us that are in this room, are all doing the same widget.
Right.
And I'm attempting to compete with all these people, and you say, improve your SEO.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everybody's attempting to improve their SEO. So how do you differentiate yourself in an SEO territory when companies like yourself and other companies, that's the first thing they want to do is say,
Because you can't see the bow tie.
right.
It's true, not yet, yeah.
We need to get your face out there, and your tie.
I am a handsome man.
I mean, that's a tough question. It's a good question. It's tough, you're going to be competing with people. You got to do it right and do it better than other people, I guess. A lot of people are really not paying attention to SEO very well, because it is expensive to pay someone to do, because no one knows how to do it. Generally, you're just paying the best bluffer when you're hiring an SEO person, or the person who can convince you the best that they know what they're doing. Maybe I'm being a little bit pessimistic here, but I don't really know how to answer your question well, to be honest with you. Make sure your website's built correctly from the beginning. I mean, if you want to be ranking well, and just see where you're at too. If you're doing okay, if you're ranking on the first and second page for terms you want to be found for, then you're doing all right. If you're not in the top 5 pages, then it's probably time to invest a little bit into it. But beyond this, there are some other kind of free, easier ways to improve your web presence. One of those is getting on your social media accounts. If you don't think your business needs social, you're probably wrong. Even I think, okay, come on, I'm marketing to business owners. I'm looking for people who own businesses. I don't need to be on Facebook. Like, come on, that's silly. But most of my clients are business owners, and they're on Facebook. The nice thing about Facebook too is you can tell Facebook you're a business owner, and then if you're advertising on Facebook, you can advertise to only business owners, and kind of makes it very targeted. But focus on the big ones. You don't need to be on Twitter posting every 5 minutes. You're not the president of the United States. No, I'm joking.
No, you're not.
I don't even tweet. I don't know what it's about, but it works for some people. Be on Google, be on Facebook, and then if there's any specialty or niche social media pages for your business, for your industry, get on those. Set it up to look real professional. Make sure you have the big background image, you got the profile image. You don't want any things that are just bland icons that everyone else might have. Makes it look like you haven't paid attention to it. Maybe you're not in business anymore. Update your contact info. Facebook will make it easy for people to call or message you if you just put in your email address, put in your phone number. So, and then post regularly. Again, you don't need to post every hour or every day if you don't want to. Just once a month is really enough as kind of a minimum. If you're doing building houses, post a picture of a project you're working on when it's done. If you're fixing cars, post a picture of a car that looks cool that comes through your shop. Pictures are great. And then sharing is caring, I wrote. So if you see a nice article that you think would provide value to prospective clients or customers, then you can share it on your social media pages. Just make sure that it doesn't link into a competitor's website. So share something from a national brand or someone that's not your competitor.
Justin?
Yes.
So, like, for these guys, if they have a dairy goat business,
Mhm.
they're selling off of their herd. If they had a Facebook page, is there a way to to link that to a specific audience?
Yes, I mean, really, you can probably with Facebook ads or boosting a post is what it's called. You can pay for not very much money and really target people specifically. So you can target people who have an interest in, farming or livestock, that kind of thing. You can also target areas that are more rural, that are more likely to have people who are interested in, raising these types of, having these animals. And as for if you're on Google advertising, then you can do, search marketing. Are people searching for, I want to buy dairy goats? That's an obvious one. But interest targeting, you can target people who go to livestock websites or different things like that, 4-H or I'm not sure, but if you know the websites and things they're interested in, you can target them. Oh yeah, I'm on the advertising page right now. So search engine marketing, also called SEM, PPC, CPC, they haven't really figured out what they want to call it yet. So there's lots of acronyms. But basically it means you pay per click, or there's a cost per click. So Google is the king of search. I think this is what you were asking, Tim. I believe it's you pay Google and they'll put you up higher up, basically. They change this all the time. Right now, I think there's up to 4 ads on the top of the search engine results page. So when you do a search on Google, the first 4 links can be ads. There's a tiny little ad icon next to it that shows it's an ad. But if you don't know, it's hard to kind of know which ones are ads and which ones aren't. But someone clicks on that, or if you click on that, someone's paying per click. Google's the king of search. I think 87% of searches are done on Google, something like that. Bing also exists, especially here because Microsoft is close by. Some people do use Bing. I will tell you, though, that the #1 search term on Bing, anybody knows? Google, exactly. How do I get to a real search engine? Just kidding. Yeah, so I think Bing has like less than 10% of the search share. So if you've already exhausted Google, then you can think about advertising on Bing, but otherwise just not worth it, in my opinion. You can advertise on social media, like we talked about a little bit, Facebook ads. I'm sure there's even way more opportunities now with Pinterest and Instagram, but I hire a younger person to do those things. With Google, there's lots of options: search, display, mobile, shopping, video. These are all different products they offer for advertising. But search advertising is kind of the main one. You find people who are searching for what you offer, and you put your ad right there in front of them at the moment they're searching for it. That's kind of the best way to get a contact. Display is showing your ad all over the website on their display network. So it could be news websites or car websites or anything. Your ad can show up there. Remarketing is kind of cool. This is where your website takes a little bit of information to identify people that come to your website anonymously. And if they don't call you or contact you, then we can send them visual ads all over the internet. Maybe you've experienced this. You're doing some research on a product. All of a sudden, the next day, you just see their ad everywhere online. You're like, why are they spamming my computer with their logo? But it's effective. And Gmail ads is a new thing, too. You might have seen it when you log into Google on the top there. Yeah, John?
I hope this isn't a rabbit trail, but it's more of a philosophical, cultural question.
Perfect.
It seems like everything here is really about speed, getting your face out there, becoming known. Do you think there's a counter movement going on in our culture that's more about slowing down, taking time, and a reaction to all the speed and the treadmill and the hurry up and so on and so forth? That really is more about the soul, about the inner life of people?
Huh. I hope so. I think there is.
Yeah.
I think there's a real desire for it. But whether or not we can actually take the actions that reinforce that desire is going to be the real question. Mm-hmm. Things like the meetup, you can go and have real interactions with people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's through technology is enabled.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I know that some kids these days are actually having to take personal communication classes, you know, how to look someone in the eye, have eye contact,
Yeah.
how to show them you're listening by nodding. This is how most people listen these days.
Yeah.
What?
Huh?
Huh? You say something? But I do hope so. One of these days I would love to just throw my computer in the water and go live on a farm and
Slow down ratios.
exactly.
There you go.
That was nice about sailing for me because I'm so used to just gotta go. And on a sailboat, you know, I've got these aggressive plans when I travel. We're gonna drive 100 miles and go here and do that. And on a sailboat, I found having a plan is one of the most dangerous things. An itinerary. Okay, we're not gonna make it there today. And you know, if we do, we'll arrive at dark. It'll be dangerous. You know, the wind's picking up. You're just gonna get where you're going. Whatever way the wind blows, you're kind of limited. I like that.
Sounds like you.
My wife and I also like sailing because if I want to run around and trim the sails and pull this line in a little tighter and, you know, run around the deck, I can. I can be as busy as I want, and Kassi can just sit there and just enjoy the sun and the sound of the waves and not do anything. So it's great for both of us. And I'm trying to teach Amarok how to handle the lines, all the ropes, but he's a good sailor. That's not going too well, but we're working on it. I need more bacon.
There you go.
There's 2 slices.
This is one of the last things I wanted to touch on, but I think it's really important, and that's tracking your conversions. Conversions in this case mean people who come to your website, they are converting to a lead, potentially a sale, by giving you a phone call or sending you a contact on your email form. There's a few ways to track conversions. Google Analytics is a good tool to track them through your website. Different phone numbers in a phone tracking system is really good. And AdWords offers some options. This can get a little bit more technical, but I think is really important. If you're spending money on advertising, you want to know if it's working, because if it's not, you should stop spending that money on advertising. That's why we are month to month. We hate signing contracts ourselves. So we don't make our clients sign contracts, because if we're not doing well, we don't want to take your money anymore. You should fire us. We tell people that. If we're not doing well, just fire us. Luckily, they don't, most of them. And if we do poorly, then we're happy to get fired, because we don't want to keep taking their money if we're not performing for them. Ask your clients how they found you. That's a much easier, low-tech kind of solution. Hey, how'd you find us? How'd you hear about us? Oh, I Googled you. I saw you online. Or, oh, my friend Betty Sue recommended me to you. Keep a record of these things. Maybe even the name, how they found you. Because then at the end of the month, you can look through the data and just see how many dollars came in from the advertising campaign. Because if the dollars coming in are less than the dollars you're spending, that is not a positive return on investment, and you should probably reassess. Give it some time, a couple months. An agency needs to kind of get things going, but don't give it too much time. If they keep making promises, we're going to make it better, month after month, no. If they're not making it better, then their actions are speaking louder than their words. This kind of brings me back to the machine learning and training. I think that we're all, maybe that's the next slide, let's see. Oh no, one more. But we're all kind of constantly being trained and programmed, It's this theory I've been kind of working on, but I studied psychology, and there's the bells, Pavlov's bells. Maslow is the hierarchy of needs. And kind of classic conditioning, you reward a behavior, that behavior is going to come around more. If you punish a behavior, that behavior is hopefully not going to be as prevalent. So you can train pretty much anything, I think, people, dogs, and advertising campaigns. If one channel of marketing is bringing in a good ROI, a good return on your investment, then you should reward that channel with more advertising dollars, investing more into it. If one marketing channel is not returning any positive investment, then you should divest in it, spend less money on that. And that way you're training your marketing campaign with positive and negative reinforcement to get better performance. That's something we do for all of our clients every month. We look at what's working, what's not. Okay, let's do more of what's working and less of what's not working. Seems pretty simple. But a lot of my competitors, the big national companies, they'll just take your money and spend it, and it doesn't really matter. Okay, perfect. Let's see. One of the last things, your reputation is everything. Everyone knows the best form of marketing is word of mouth. It's just the best. Always has been. I think it always will be. Online reviews are word of mouth advertising in the 21st century. So they're important. 3 tips. Respond to every review, especially bad ones. Someone says horrible things about your company, respond to it. Be professional, not emotional, even if they do upset you, which they probably do, and you probably have great reason for being upset. You can be upset, just don't show it on your public face online. Say, hey, I'm so sorry to learn about this. We'll do whatever we can to make it better for you. Come on in. Even if you don't want to make it better for them and you have no intention, at least say so online. Ask for reviews from clients, your good clients, make it easy for them. Hey Joe, here's your car. Oh, it looks great. Hey, thanks. Do you mind telling the world on the internet? Check out our Facebook page or do it on Google. You can make it easy, send them a link. There are some companies that will charge a couple $100 a month to get reviews from all of your clients. It's expensive, but it does work. And then feature your reviews on your website. They are your third-party endorsements. Yep, and that takes me to the end of Marketing 101. So I don't think anybody fell asleep, so congratulations. That's really impressive. And then this is my random thought for the days, that we're all being programmed by our experiences, responses, choices, and thoughts. My wife is studying behavioral neuroscience. It's tough for me to pronounce that, and I've had a lot of practice, but I can't even pronounce her major, so that tells you how smart she is. So what neural pathways are you strengthening or weakening in your daily thoughts and actions? And how are you training your business? So those are some of the thoughts I wanted to leave you with today. So yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. John, thanks for inviting me, and I really love Marketplace Connections and look forward to meeting with you all and going on this journey of life together. So, thank you.